ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second day of the 2014 Naval Academy Leadership Conference. Please join me in welcoming the 85th Commandant of Midshipmen, Captain William D. Byrne, Jr. to the stage.
Thanks, brother. Hey, well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Naval Academy's 2014 Leadership Conference. We are so happy and so proud to have all of you, 220 delegates or so from more than 60 universities. And I think you probably went over the history of this conference yesterday, but I think it's worth repeating. Started in 1984, primarily amongst the service academies. In 2002, we opened it up to civilian universities. And so this is the 31st edition. 60 universities, sister service academies, ROTC units, and the finest civilian universities in the country, coast to coast. So what a great start that we had on day one. Heard from Joel Kaplan from Facebook, the breakout sessions we had, the panelists we had. I am especially pleased that you got to tour the yard, when we call our campus the yard. Got to eat in King Hall. Haven't heard any complaints. And it's always special to hear from somebody as significant as the former Vice President of the United States last night as well. So two things that I walked away with yesterday, two themes that I wrote down. First was Vice Admiral Miller's welcoming remarks when he said, leaders are made, not born. And I know that that's an age-old discussion, an age-old argument. But the fact that leaders are made, that's why you're here. This is part of the building process. And then Joel Kaplan yesterday said, every leader is in fact also a follower. And he stressed the 5 traits necessary in both: knowledge, integrity, initiative, courage, and loyalty. So I'll use myself as an example of both a follower and a leader. Yesterday you met Vice Admiral Mike Miller, who is the superintendent of the Naval Academy. The superintendent is the university president here at the Naval Academy. And I'm Captain Bill Byrne, the Commandant of Midshipmen. Commandant at the service academies, Dean of Students. So I'm responsible for the day in and day out operation of the brigade, good order and discipline. The superintendent, university president, Commandant, Dean of Students. Superintendent, strategic guidance. The Dean of Students, I run the student body day to day. Superintendent provides that 25-year vision for the school. The Dean of Students, I'm worried about the professional development and the training on a Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday basis. So he, the Sup, is the CEO, and I'm more the operations manager. So he leads, I follow. Meanwhile, I am the leader of the brigade of midshipmen, which is 4,500 people strong. So I have to provide some sort of guidance, my philosophy, and my expectations. And I will tell you that one of my greatest strengths is that I know my limitations. And so while Admiral Miller speaks very eloquently and has a vast vocabulary and can talk about this leadership and servant leadership and speaks from the heart, and it's at the tip of his tongue and on the top of his mind, I'm not quite as eloquent, and I don't deliver as smoothly as he does. So I've got to keep it simple. I've got to keep my message simple. Yesterday, in his welcoming remarks, Admiral Miller used a favorite book of his and a favorite movie to make his point. And his favorite book was Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. So it's becoming a bestseller. Simon Sinek becoming one of our most popular inspirational speakers and one of our foremost experts on this art of leadership. Here's the book I rely upon. All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. So that which is necessary to lead a meaningful life isn't all that complicated. And by highlighting Simon Sinek and Leaders Eat Last, I don't mean to shortchange this guy, Robert Fulghum, whatsoever. He's a bestseller as well. In fact, this book sold 16 million copies, was translated into 27 languages, and distributed in 103 countries. But the simple message here really is learned in kindergarten. So let me provide his examples to you. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say sorry when you hurt someone. Wash your hands before you eat. Take a nap every afternoon. And when you go out into the world, watch traffic, hold hands, and stick together. So if you believe that leaders are actually made, I would argue that leaders are made as early as kindergarten. So as the Commandant of Midshipmen, I came here in May of 2013, just 8 short months ago. The brigade was out and about. As you know, we do lots of summer training, fleet cruises, and every once in a while we give them a couple weeks off in the summertime as well. So in August, when the brigade reformed, that was my first opportunity to meet them and their first opportunity to meet me. So again, my challenge is I'm limited with vocabulary, limited with eloquence, and I had to get the simple message across and let them know what I expect of them. So my message, that's it. 2 words, very simple, is be excellent. Always strive for excellence and be excellent in everything you do and everything you say. But I know that that's not enough for a midshipman or for a college student. I've got to give them something more and what I really mean by that, something to act upon. So I break it down into 3 areas. Be excellent to yourself, be excellent to each other, and be excellent to this place. So what do I mean? First and foremost, be excellent to yourself. You have to ensure that you are ready to answer the bell each day in order to make a contribution. Because if you're not, nothing else matters. So eat right. Work out regularly. Study hard. Find a hobby. Find a mentor. Tell the truth. Keep your word. And as you know, at the Naval Academy, we have lots of rules here. Know the rules and follow the rules. Know your limit. Don't exceed your limit. And if you do, call a cab. Be excellent to each other. Hey, I didn't come up with this one. This is the golden rule. Be a good listener. Donate your time. Serve others. Teach others. Be a study buddy and be a workout buddy. And be a mentor. Know your buddy's limit and don't let your buddy exceed his or her limit. And if they do, call a cab. Be an active bystander. When things start going south, step in, intervene, and make a difference. And one of the ways we paraphrase this in the military is be a good wingman. And finally, be excellent to this place. At the Naval Academy, I think we take it for granted how beautiful this place is. I know back in the 80s, I did. I didn't acknowledge the fact, or I didn't understand that this place is a national landmark, and it's a tourist attraction. So I've got to appreciate that more. And so I try and impress that upon the midshipmen to appreciate this place, speak well of it, represent it well by wearing uniform properly, saluting smartly, speaking well of this place. So today, your place is your school. So be excellent to it. In the future, your place will be your job, your office, the nonprofit for which you toil day in and day out, the home and the family that you build. That will be your place. So be excellent to it. I was taken aback by Vice President Cheney's comment last night that he actually loved his job when he was the Secretary of Defense, and his frustration in reading the book, the recent book of one of his successors who said he hated his job. Hey, if you don't like your job, leave it. If you don't like your school, find another one. But since it's yours, be excellent to it. So yesterday during his welcoming remarks, Admiral Miller also used a movie, a classic movie, White Christmas. That's the 1954 classic where a couple of World War II vets, after the war, are able to help out their wartime commander through an extraordinary show of loyalty. My inspirational movie is not quite a classic. It's more of a 1980s cult classic. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. The story of two high school seniors who were trying to figure out if they're followers or leaders. They're scrambling to complete their history project, which is a graduation requirement, and they stumble across a telephone booth which doubles as a time machine. And they travel through time and they pick up historical lessons through historical figures that they meet along the way. Socrates, Genghis Khan, Abraham Lincoln. Until they land in the future and they have to make a positive impression in order to get home. You play the video, please? So it's a bad 80s hair day here. A bad 80s soundtrack.
Yeah, it's us. Who are we?
Bad 80s air guitar. Futuristic leaders, futuristic followers, and a couple kids who don't know which they are.
They want us to say something. What should I say? Make something up. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!
But a great message. I have not shared that clip with my midshipmen, and I need to soon, maybe before spring break. And maybe not. But I have shared this. And it goes back to that book written about kindergartners. That which is necessary to lead a meaningful life isn't all that complicated. And I think this message fits perfectly with day 2, and especially the panel that's going to follow. The title is Ethics: the leader, the follower, the organization. The leader, the followers, and the organization. So again, we're thrilled that you're all here, that you're able to participate with us. I hope you find it worthwhile, and I hope you find it worthwhile enough that you go back to your own institutions and convince the powers that be to continue participating for edition 32 next year. So enjoy day 2, be active participants, and be excellent to each other. Thank you.